Welcome to Cheat Sheet Tales, where secrets slip, lies unravel, and the truth always has a twist. Real stories, raw confessions, shocking betrayals. Drop a comment if you've ever caught a red flag too late. Now, let's get into today's tale. At our family Christmas dinner, I was told, "You can eat in the car." My brother smirked. "Why would we waste a seat on you?" I looked around. Everyone else had a seat at the table, even my cousin who stole from me. So I picked up my gift, turned to my brother and said, "Check under your plate." I left, shutting the car door behind me. Mom called. Dad ran out. At our family Christmas dinner, I was told, "You can eat in the car." My brother Ryan smirked, leaning back in his chair. "Why would we waste a seat on you?" Laughter rippled around the table. Not loud, but enough. My mother looked down at her plate, pretending not to hear. My father cleared his throat, a flicker of discomfort crossing his face, before he focused on his phone again. No one stood up for me. No one even looked at me. I stood there, a wrapped gift still in my hands. A gift I had carefully chosen for each of them. A gift I thought might make them see me differently this year. "Right," I whispered, swallowing the burning in my throat. I looked around the table. Every chair was filled. Even my cousin, Mark, who once stole from me, had a seat. But me, I was told I didn't belong. "Ryan," I called, forcing calm into my voice. He looked up, still smirking. "Check under your plate." His smile faltered. The room went quiet, a suffocating silence that seemed to stretch forever. Slowly, he lifted his plate. A crisp white envelope was taped beneath it, his brow furrowed, fingers hesitating before peeling it off. "What's this?" he muttered, tearing it open. His eyes widened as he read. The smirk vanished, replaced by shock. My mother leaned over, trying to see, but Ryan's face went pale. "You can explain that to everyone," I said, turning on my heel. "Merry Christmas." I walked out, the sound of their startled voices following me as I shut the car door behind me. My phone buzzed. Mom was calling. A second later, another call. From Dad. Then a flood of notifications. I let them ring. They had told me I didn't belong. Now they were desperate to stop me from leaving, but I was done being their doormat. I didn't go home. Not immediately. I drove. The Christmas lights of the neighborhood blurring as I tried to focus, tried to keep my hands steady on the wheel. My phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Mom, Dad, even Ryan. But I ignored them all. It wasn't just about Christmas. It was never just about Christmas. This had been coming for years. A slow, suffocating buildup I'd been too blind to see. I had always been the one who tried the hardest, the one who showed up, the one who paid. When Ryan and his wife Maya had their first child, I was there with gifts, paying for the stroller they couldn't afford. When their second came, I covered the daycare costs because Maya's part-time job barely paid for groceries. Every year, I bought the kids their school supplies, pitched in for summer camps, even covered their mortgage for 3 months when Ryan was between jobs. Because I was the good brother, the reliable one. But no one saw the cost. No one saw the nights I spent calculating how much I could give without falling behind on my own bills. No one saw the vacations I skipped, the things I denied myself, because I thought that's what family did. But what did it matter to them? I was nothing but a walking wallet. And when I couldn't keep up, when I didn't do enough, I was a loser. My phone rang again. Mom. I gritted my teeth and picked it up. "Now you call?" I snapped, barely recognizing the edge in my own voice. "Sweetheart, please come back," she pleaded, her voice shaky. "We didn't mean it. Ryan was just upset." "Upset?" I laughed bitterly. "You didn't seem upset when you told me I could eat in the car." "It was just a joke," she said. "No, Mom, it wasn't a joke. It never is." I could hear Dad's voice. In the background, grumbling something. You and Dad just sat there, didn't say a word. Not one. "Please come home. We can talk about this." "Home?" I barked. "That's not my home. It's a place I visit to be humiliated." Silence. Then a faint whisper. Please don't do this. But I was already hanging up. The anger was boiling, now years of silent resentment clawing to the surface. I turned the car around. No, I wasn't going home. Not yet. I was going back. I pulled up in front of their house, stormed out of the car, and banged on the door. It swung open. And there, they were. Mom's eyes red and puffy. Dad's arms crossed defensively, and Ryan, looking smug as ever, leaning against the wall. Back for another lecture? He sneered. No, I spat back. For answers. I turned to Mom and Dad. Explain it to me. How did I become the joke of this? Family? How did I become the loser? My father sighed. Don't be dramatic. Ryan was just kidding. Kidding? I felt the heat rise in my chest. This isn't just about tonight. It's about everything. I've spent years paying your bills, covering for Ryan's mistakes, taking care of his family because he couldn't. I didn't ask you to. Ryan shot back, arms still crossed. Didn't ask? I laughed a wild, bitter sound. No, you didn't ask. You just expected it. And when I couldn't give enough, I became worthless. A loser. Ryan's smug look faltered. Look, if you're going to cry about a few bucks... few bucks? I was shouting now. How much do you think I've given you, Ryan? Thousands, tens of... thousands, while you sat back doing nothing. And you, I pointed at Mom and Dad, you encouraged it, told me I was the responsible one. But when I needed support... Silence. Stop yelling, Dad muttered. You're making a scene. Oh, I'm making... a scene? I turned, grabbing the presents from the car. You know what? Here. I threw the bags at Ryan's feet. Take them. The presents you didn't think I brought. His eyes widened as the bag spilled open. Toys, books, everything I had spent hours choosing. Maya peeked out from the hallway, her face pale, her lips pressed tight. You didn't even look in the car, did you? I shouted. You just assumed I was worthless enough. Mom's voice cracked, tears in her eyes. This is Christmas. Please, just calm down. Calm down? I laughed again, that wild, bitter laugh. Fine. I'm calm, but I'm also done. Done being your bank. Done being your punching bag. Done pretending this is a family. I stepped back, breathing. Hard, my heart pounding against my ribs. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Ryan, his voice small now, tried to sneer. Yeah, walk away. You always do. I never walked away, I whispered, my voice shaking. I just never realized how little I mattered. I turned and left, slamming the door behind me. This time, I didn't look back. But as I got in the car, the exhaustion hit me. The years of giving, the endless sacrifices, the constant feeling of being nothing more than an afterthought. It crashed down on me like a wave. I wasn't just leaving their house. I was done being part of their lives. I didn't hear from them for 2 days. Not a single call, not a text. Silence. It was like I had vanished from their world. And for a moment, I thought maybe, just maybe, they had understood. Maybe they had finally realized how badly they had hurt me. Maybe they were ashamed. But that was a fantasy. The truth hit like a wrecking ball the morning of the 3rd day when my doorbell rang. I opened it to find Ryan standing there, his face twisted with a mix of rage and desperation. His hair was a mess, and his eyes were bloodshot. You need to... Stop this! He snapped, shoving his way inside before I could even react. You can't just cut us off like this. Excuse me. I crossed my arms, leaning against the kitchen counter. Pay you off, you mean? Finally saying no to being your personal ATM? He glared at me, his voice rising. Don't be dramatic. You've always helped us, always. You can't just stop. Oh, but I can. I kept my tone ice cold. You told me I could eat in the car, remember that? Well, now you can figure out how to pay your own bills. Do you know what you're doing to us? Ryan's voice cracked. Maya's panicking. The kids don't understand why they don't have presents, and Mom and Dad, they're losing it. Losing it? I laughed bitterly. The only thing they've lost is their free ticket to bleed me dry. You only think about yourself, Ryan exploded, his face turning red. We're a family. Families help each other. Help? I stepped forward, my voice rising to match his. You want to talk about help? I've paid for your kids' school supplies, covered your rent, even paid your mortgage at one point. I've been more of a father to your kids than you ever were. Ryan's fist clenched. You think you're so much better than me, don't you? I don't think I'm better, I shot back. But I do know I'm done being used. Used? He laughed, but it was a hollow, broken sound. You're acting like a victim. Poor you, right? The rich brother who always had more, who always thought he was too good for the rest of us. More? I almost laughed again. You mean more debt? More sleepless nights wondering if I could cover your bills and still pay my own? More guilt every time I thought about saying no? I have kids, he shouted, his voice cracking. They're suffering because of you. No, I said, leaning closer. They're suffering because of you, because you gambled away everything I gave you. His face went pale. What are you talking about? Oh, you really thought I wouldn't find out? I smirked, but there was no joy in it. Did you think Maya wouldn't get suspicious? Or that she wouldn't find the bank statements? The secret account you used to hide money? Ryan's eyes widened. What? What are you talking about? Stop pretending, I snapped, pulling out my phone. I had the screenshot saved, the copies Maya's lawyer had shown me. Gambling sites, expensive restaurants, hotel stays, all while I thought I was helping you feed your kids. You don't know what you're talking about. His voice was desperate now, his hands shaking. Really? I shoved the phone in his face. Then explain this. Thousands of dollars. My money, gone. And Maya? She's done. She's already talking to a lawyer. Ryan's jaw clenched. His eyes darted around the room, looking for a way out. You did this. You turned her against me. No, I whispered, feeling the weight of years of frustration pressing down on me. You did this. You destroyed your family. You used me. And now you're facing the consequences. For a moment, he just stood there, breathing heavily, his face pale. And then something snapped. He lunged forward, grabbing my shirt. You think you can just walk away? He screamed, spittle flying. You think you're done? You owe me. We're family. Family means you don't get to just walk away. Shoved him off, his grip breaking as he stumbled backward. Family, you don't get to preach about family. Family doesn't steal. Family doesn't lie. Family doesn't use you and then call you a loser when you can't give enough. Get out, I said, my voice calm. Deadly. Get out of my house. I'll tell Mom and Dad, he sneered, his voice shaking. They'll know you ruined everything. You'll be the outcast, not me. I laughed, a cold, bitter sound. Oh, you really think they're on your side? Go ahead, tell them. But when Maya's lawyer calls them to testify, when the truth comes out, you'll be the one who destroyed this family. He stared at me, frozen, and for the first time in my life, I saw fear in his eyes. Last chance, Ryan, I said, stepping aside and pointing to the door. Get out and don't ever come back. His lips trembled, but he turned, storming out, slamming the door behind him so hard the wall shook. For a moment, I stood there, breathing hard, the adrenaline pulsing through my veins. And then, quiet. A heavy, crushing quiet settled over the room. My phone buzzed again, a message from Maya. Thank you. I didn't know how to face him alone. I stared at the screen, a strange mix of relief and sadness twisting in my chest. I had lost my brother, but maybe I never really had him. The weight I had carried for years was gone, but now, in the cold silence of my empty house, I wondered if I had made a mistake. But no, this was their choice, their betrayal. I had only done what I should have done years ago. I was done saving them. I didn't answer their calls, not Mom's tearful voicemails, not Dad's gruff demands, and definitely not Ryan's furious texts. For the first time in years, I didn't owe them anything. Not my time, not my money, not even an explanation. But on the fourth day of silence, the pounding on my front door shattered the peace. I didn't have to look through the peephole. I knew who it was. Ryan's voice was muffled but furious. "Open the door, you coward." I opened it, leaning casually against the frame. "Make it quick. I'm busy." His face twisted with rage, and he shoved his way inside, fists clenched. "You think you can just walk away, huh? Leave us all hanging because you're having a tantrum?" "No," I said, shutting the door behind him. "I didn't walk away. I took back everything you stole from me." "Stole?" He laughed, but there was no humor in it. "You think I stole from you? You gave that money over and over. You love being the hero." "I loved my family," I corrected, "but you're not family. You've taken advantage of me for too long." His face went red, his fists tightening. "Don't talk to me like that." "I'll talk to you however I want," I said, stepping closer, especially now that I know where all that money really went. My voice dropped to a cold whisper. "Gambling? Ryan, did you really think you could hide it forever?" His face drained of color. You have no idea what you're talking about." "Oh, I have a perfect idea," I said, pulling out my phone and opening the screenshots from Maya's lawyer. "Bank, statements, secret accounts, thousands of dollars. My money, wasted while I thought I was feeding your kids, covering your bills." "You went through my accounts," he shouted, panic mixing with anger. "Maya did," I said, "and she showed me everything. You've always thought you were better than me." "Say it," I snapped, stepping forward. "Go ahead, say it, but it won't change anything. It won't change the fact that I can't trust you anymore. You've broken our trust." His hand shot out, but I stepped back, his fingers grazing empty air. "Shut up." But I didn't flinch. "If you think I'm wrong, explain yourself. Show everyone who you really are." For a second, his jaw clenched, his fists trembling. Then, he stepped back, his breathing heavy. "I needed that money," he screamed. "You don't understand. The bills, the stress." "Maya," I laughed bitterly. "She's divorcing you. She knows everything. You destroyed your family just like you tried to destroy mine." His eyes widened, breathing frantic. No, she wouldn't." "She already has." I stepped closer, my voice ice cold. "And here's the best part. I'm done, but I'm not just walking away. I'm taking back every penny I gave you." "What?" He shook his head. "You heard me." I pulled a thick folder from the table and tossed it onto the couch. A full list of everything I ever paid for you. Your rent, your groceries, your kids' school fees, even the money for your mortgage. All of it. I have the receipts, and my lawyer agrees. I have grounds to sue you for fraud." "You're bluffing," he shouted. But there was a crack in his voice, a tremor of fear. "Am I?" I pulled out another sheet, a formal letter already signed. "Consider this an ultimatum. You pay back every cent I gave you, $42,500, or I take you to court. And believe me, with Maya's testimony, you'll lose." His knees seemed to buckle, his face pale as ash. "You can't. I don't have that money." "Sell your car, sell your furniture, sell your stubborn pride," I said. "I don't care. You've got 2 weeks." "I'll tell Mom and Dad," he shrieked, desperation twisting his face. "Do it," I shrugged. "They can pay for you if they want, but I'm not their bank anymore either." He stood there trembling, breath coming in ragged gasps. "You can't do this. Please, you can't do this to me." "I'm not doing anything," I said. "Opening the door, I'm just taking back what you stole." And then, as if on cue, another car pulled up. Mom and Dad. Mom practically fell out of the car, rushing to the door. "Sweetheart, please don't do this." "I should have known," I muttered. "He called you, didn't he? Please, let's just talk," Dad said, trying to keep his voice calm. "We're family. We can work this out." "Work this out?" I laughed, pointing at Ryan. "Ask your perfect son where all that money went. Ask him what he did with my help." "It wasn't like that," Ryan shouted, his voice cracking. Then tell them, I said, stepping back, folding my arms. Go ahead, tell them. He looked at Mom, at Dad, his lips trembling. I had no choice. I was trying to make things better. I thought if I won big. Oh my God, Mom whispered, her hands covering her mouth. Ryan, no, not gambling. You knew about this? Dad roared, his eyes wild. I tried to stop him, Ryan sobbed, falling to his knees. I thought he would keep helping me. I thought I could fix it before. But you didn't, I said, cutting him off. And now you're going to fix it my way. 2 weeks, $42,000, or I take you to court. Mom turned to me, her eyes wet. Please, he's your brother. You can't do this. You can't destroy him. No, Mom, I whispered, my voice steady. He destroyed himself. I'm just done being the one who pays the price. I turned, walking back inside, slamming the door behind me. Their voices faded, muffled by the thick walls, just echoes of a life I had finally left behind. But I didn't feel relief. Not yet. I wouldn't. Not until I saw every dollar returned. I sat on my quiet balcony, a warm mug of coffee in my hands, watching the pale light of dawn stretch across the city. For the first time in years, the silence didn't feel suffocating. It felt peaceful. A month had passed since I had drawn the line, since I demanded my money back, since I walked away. Ryan didn't pay immediately, of course. He tried everything, begging, threatening, using Mom and Dad to guilt me. But I didn't waver. He tried to deny everything, even with the bank statements and Maya's testimony. But the threat of court was enough. In the end, he knew he had no choice. The first payment came in 2 weeks later, $10,000. Dad called me, furious. You're tearing this family apart, he shouted. No, Dad, I replied, calm but firm. I'm fixing it. Ryan scrambled to sell his car, pawn his gadgets, even took out a loan, anything to avoid a court case. Payment after payment, I watched the total shrink until finally, just 2 days ago, the final amount cleared. $40,500. Every dollar I had wasted trying to save him. But I didn't feel victorious. Not really. Just free. My phone buzzed. A message from Maya. Thank you again. The kids are adjusting. We're better now without him. I smiled. A real, genuine smile. Maya had left Ryan for good. The divorce was final. And for once, I didn't feel guilty. I felt proud. Then another message. This one from Mom. Please, just talk to us. We miss you. I stared at it for a long moment. It was the same message she had sent a dozen times, always with the same desperate tone, always trying to pull me back. But I didn't reply. Not because I hated her, not even because I hated Dad or Ryan, but because I loved myself enough to finally walk away. I had spent years believing that love meant sacrifice, that being a good son, a good brother, meant giving until there was nothing left. But that wasn't love. That was self-destruction. The doorbell rang, pulling me from my thoughts. I stood surprised and opened it. Uncle Rob stood there, a warm smile on his face. He was holding a small, neatly wrapped box. Thought I'd drop by, he said. You missed out on a lot of family dinners. Figured I'd bring you something. I laughed, stepping aside to let him in. Just you? Just me, he said, setting the box on the table. I heard what happened. Not from them, of course, but I know how they are. They'll never change, I murmured, pouring 2 cups of coffee. And that's not your problem anymore. He patted me on the shoulder. You did right. You finally stood up for yourself. We sat, talked, and for the first time in so long, I felt like I wasn't alone. I told him everything. The years of sacrifices, the constant guilt, the final explosion. And he listened. Really listened. When he left, I found myself smiling again. The quiet didn't feel empty. It felt earned. And as the sun climbed higher, bathing the city in gold, I realized something. For the first time in my life, I wasn't just free of their expectations, I was finally free.